as language teachers, we often see texts from students which may lack coherence and cohesion. And we might have received feedback when we were students that our texts are not coherent and cohere very well. So in this main topic, issues of cohesion and coherence, we'll look at text construction, how we can teach our students to bring about coherence and logical sequencing or development in their texts, right? Of course, writing has its own conventions, parameters, norms and traditions, and it has its own constraints. For example, one paragraph should look like a coherent whole, and it should have a thesis statement and the supporting evidence and then the concluding sentence. So each paragraph tend to have its own structure, and then each paragraph offer a transition link up to the next paragraph. We can teach our students how to organize their paragraphs coherently. We'll look at two examples. One example is poorly constructed and one is properly constructed. Let's look at this example first, and you could think yourself that this is not properly written example, because Paul was sitting at home wondering what to do. He did not have any ideas, but then the phone rang, and then it was his friend Sarah asking if he wanted to go and see a movie. He agreed immediately. So there is a kind of jumping from one idea to the other. So it doesn't properly give proper idea about what the situation was, what the problem was, what the solution, and how it was evaluated. Rather, it's not properly been presented. So the paragraph should have a proper topic sentence, and it should have supporting example and explanation, and then the concluding sentence, and then the following sentence, and then the conclusion. Let's look at another example which is properly constructed. Many people thought that they could make a lot of money from selling goods on the internet. And look, many people has been, if you look at this example, this is what adds cohesion and coherence to the text. They started up. Look here again, many people has not been used. They started up companies and called .coms. They again hoped people would rush to buy. Again, there is a consistency of tenses to buy online because it would be more convenient, but for most part they did not make money they expected. So this is a precisely presented example of a coherent and logically developed paragraph. There is a topic sentence, and then the supporting sentences, then the follow-on sentence, and then the conclusion. Texts can be analyzed in terms of their construction because different genres have different norms and traditions. For example, the genre of letter, the genre of email, the genre of essay writing may have their own conventions and traditions and parameters. So they are actually conditioned by certain various constraints. So we will have to teach different genres and their constraints or their conventions to our students. And it's by making them aware, like the letter is this, and it has its certain genres and how it can be taught, right? So this is how we can teach text construction to the students.